Ego Motive, the entrepreneurial organization. The principles of entrepreneurship include making the individual realize and take complete ownership of their own life. This week, Nqobile's topic was entitled, You are the author of your own destiny.
When you're still a kid, like you're just running around, everything is cool, your parents are taking care of everything. You don't really think about what's ahead. But now when you're at this stage, you're now thinking ahead, okay, what am I going to do in life? Who am I going to be? Where am I going to be? So your success story begins now. This is the time to start making those decisions, those vital decisions. What am I going to do in the next 10 years? That's your contents page. As we say, this is a story, it's just like a book. Your story should not have a conclusion. What I mean by that is your story should be a continuous process. Be a person who's going to leave a legacy for your kids, for your grandchildren, something that they're going to look up to and say, this was started by my grandmother or my grandfather. Don't let anyone write your story for you. Yes, have people who inspire you, have people who motivate you. You should have role models, people you look up to, obviously. That's something that's very vital. But don't let those people write your story for you. Why? Because, especially in Africa, when you look at people don't want competition, you know? So a person who you look up to can mentor you to a certain stage that is just below them. So you're satisfied with being just below them, but there is a whole lot more above them. So it's good to have people who inspire you, it's good to have role models, but still write your own story. Life in itself, life is not a competition. If life was a competition, what it would do is we would be competing for oxygen right now. That's when life becomes a competition. But when what gives us life, which is oxygen, is not something that's competed for, then life in itself is not supposed to be a competition against anyone. But it's a competition against yourself. So in your success story, you don't need to compete against anyone. Look for people who are going to challenge you, not to compete with. Unless if it's positive competition, whereby you're challenging each other. Okay, let's get to this stage. Who's going to get there first? Then you build each other like that. But life in itself is not a competition. Don't compete against anyone. Run your own race. Yes, get inspiration, but run your own race. I'll tell you one thing. There are people who you will find working with no salary. Why? Because they just love doing that work.
I do have a problem with procrastination. It's so bad. And then I told them, I want to start a business, but then I'm procrastinating because of this and that. She told me that as soon as the idea pops up in your head, just do it. Don't wait for a second to pass by. The only thing that's stopping is your mind. So just do it. You can't say you're motivated to do it, but you're lazy. You have the idea of doing it, but you're feeling lazy. You can't use two words that contradict each other in one sentence. You understand?
When you're writing a success story, don't look at the environment. The environment might be limiting, obviously, but don't let that be a factor which is going to tell you that it's not going to happen. In as much as it might not be possible at that moment in time, you need to get to a point where you write. I believe in writing things down. Like when you have something, an idea or whatever, write it down. But if you keep it in your mind, sometimes the mind gets clouded and you forget. But when you write something down, 10 years later, you will look at that book and say, this thing, I couldn't do it back then. Why not try it now? You gotta have multinational businesses. You gotta have multinational things. You gotta think big. Make sure that in the moment that an idea comes, write it down. In that moment, in that split second, that's when everything makes sense. And write everything that you think around that idea in that moment. You know what? If you really want something to happen, it can happen. I'm just a person who believes that you can talk to anyone in the world. Yes, we can look at the Bill Gates, the whoever's, and you say, I'll never be able to talk to these people. That's just you limiting yourself. So in as much as you can say, yeah, I don't have an opportunity to go out, right? Look for the people in this environment or in this country who can help you to bring up your idea, to get it established, or to get you started on something. Or, just try to reach out to someone who's out there who has made it, like even outside. Just try to reach out. That's what I'm saying. For me, personally, I believe I can talk to anyone. It's just that we are scared as people. Like, I read, like me talking to Bill Gates, how's that impossible? But that's where we limit ourselves. That's exactly where we limit ourselves. We limit our potential because we think that these people are too big, so nah, I'm just too small. Think big. Think like a big person as well. If you want to be big, you gotta think big. That's how it works. When you're passionate about something, you don't really just let it go. It's something that continues to scratch your back, like come back. Because just like sport, there are people who love sport. Like let's say basketball, for example. Even if your leg gets broken or something like that, you're still gonna find yourself right at the court side, just watching and really just wanting to be in there, but you can't.
Ego Motive, the entrepreneurial organization.